meeting
Trying
with
to
President
to
Sisi.
work, yeah.
Yes, to try to organize the situation in the Middle East, in the Mediterranean. We see a lot of challenges in Syria, in Iraq, with Turkey, of course. They wanted to destabilize the whole region, the whole Mediterranean.
Yeah.
It's not, of course, in the sake of neither Egypt or Greece or Cyprus. Cyprus, as I said, it's the closest European country to us. We have a very traditional and long historical relations with them. We have a lot in common as well. We have common maritime limits in the Mediterranean. We should work on this. We should understand and we should cooperate in the prospecting of gas and petroleum in the Mediterranean. We have a lot of reserves there, and we have to demark the limits between the two sides. Also, we need the imports of gas because we have a crisis in fuel and gas and so on. So I believe they are very close. We don't have to pay a lot for transportation.
So this is a very positive sort of joint cooperation,
yes.
in your opinion.
We don't have to pay a lot for transportation. We have it's secured because it's very near, and in 1 hour, 2 hours, I believe tourism as well between the two sides. It's very near, and I believe we ignored many.
Exactly. This is something that should have been leveraged years ago.
Years ago that
Why is it starting
sort of,
now?
yeah.
Especially with the Turkish threat to Egypt right now. Turkey is a very important threat to Egypt right now. They are threatening us in our national security. They are threatening us in Syria, in Iraq, the whole Arab.
There's also a report about having their influence on tourism, because they have 7 of the major touristic companies, and usually European would come through them.
Yes, that's a mistake.
Jets.
That's our error, our mistakes. We should, as we said, organize our relationship with Europe. We don't need Turkey as a bridge between us and Europe. We had very historic relationships. So tourism should come directly to Egypt, or firstly to Egypt and then to other destinies. We had a lot of tourism from Spain, for example. We have to repair this kind of relationships from Russia, from everywhere.
Mr. Why do you think, in your opinion, though, as Sharif was mentioning, cooperating with Greece and Cyprus have been, I can't say really ignored or neglected, but were sort of forgotten about for such a long time?
Yes.
Like I mentioned, it's like the
nearest
and they're so
location.
close.
Yes. Look, our foreign policy committed a lot of errors in the past few years, okay? 10, 20, I don't know. But we ignored many of our friends. And
neighbors, actually.
Yes, and our neighbors as well, yes. And this is a mistake. This is a mistake. We have to repair it. We ignored the third world countries. We ignored the southern countries. We ignored Africa, and we are suffering now from Africa, from the Nile basin countries. So we ignored a lot of our friends, and it was a great mistake, and we paid the price. I believe we should understand the lesson right now, and not to neglect our neighbors, our friends, and to create. They have a lot. We have a lot in common. We have the same conditions, maybe. Greece as well, for example, has an economic crisis. We have to cooperate. We have organized tourism together.
Charters. You have charters from Alexandria.
Exactly.
To and from. That would make a difference.
Other countries have technology suitable to us, because we don't need very advanced technology. We need to use medium technology for using our workers as well. So we need to import technology from India, from China, from South
Russia.
Africa, from Brazil, from Argentina. These third world countries are now very advanced. They are among the very advanced country in the group of 20 or group of 30, India as well. So we need to repair our relations. We can benefit a lot from them, and they can also benefit from us. We can give them opportunities to invest in Egypt, to work in Egypt, and this way we can recuperate our economy, our tourism, our vitality of life.
So if we move to another topic, there has been, controversial statements regarding the evacuation of homes to create this sort of a buffer zone along the border with Gaza Strip. And this situation has caused, some troubles to the residents in Sinai, but again with the purpose of fighting terrorism and attacks against Egyptian soldiers and officers. How are you seeing this today? How is it progressing, and what is the impact of, clearing out this buffer zone? Is it something good, politically and from a military standpoint, or the opposite?
It's a very sensitive issue, I believe, and in very sensitive region as well. Sinai is a very sensitive place. It was under occupation for some time. The people suffered a lot under the occupation because of the wars. Many wars happened in Sinai. So we have to take care. Yes, the national security is very important, and we have to protect ourselves. We have to defend our borders as we should. But I believe as well we should also take care of these people. As I mentioned, they suffered a lot, and we don't have to let them suffer more. I believe national security can be protected and defended by many ways. We can use technology everywhere. You can have technology against tunnels, you have technology against trafficking, you have satellite images, and
intelligence.
Yes, intelligence, of course, on both sides of the borders. So we have a gamma of remote control equipments and so on. You can secure borders, you can control it, you can observe it 24 hours per day, and in the same time you give these people confidence. You don't treat them all as spies. They are honorable people living on the borders.
Just because you're confused about who's
very few, very
exactly,
minority of them are involved in this trafficking trade. But I believe that, of course, the majority are honored people, and they need our trust, and they need also our projects there. The best way to protect your borders is to create jobs, is to create industries in these areas, free zone area. All this, unfortunately, once again, we ignored Sinai for a long time. It's a part of Egypt, but it was ignored. And this is the reason now that terrorism is there, that ignorance is there, and we have to stop this kind of
obvious from what you're saying, that we have to really work hard on a lot of aspects, whether internal or external, from the foreign affairs side. Finally, Yahya Negm, political analyst and former diplomat, would like to thank you very much for joining us. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's move on now to a very short break and returning back with more.